data standards and data exchange. With the exception of DNA sequencing, microarrays were perhaps the earliest technology that allowed biologists to vast amounts of complex digital data. As the technology came into use, it rapidly became apparent that in order for others to be able to reproduce a given microarray experiment, a detailed description of the array, the sample, the protocols and the data analysis methods need to be available. Moreover, it also became apparent that access to the raw and processed data would allow others to perform analysis and meta-analysis on combinations of data that the original data producers had not conceived. To address these issues of reproducible science and data exchange, members of Microarray Gene Expression Data Society, now the Function Genomics Data Society, created the MIAME, Minimum Information About a Microarray Experiment Standards, for the description of microarray experiments and for the exchange of microarray data. These efforts influenced the creation public databases for microarray data and subsequent standards efforts in other areas. Limitations of DNA microarrays. At their core, microarrays are simply devices incredibly useful in a wide variety of applications, but they have a number of limitations. First, arrays provide an indirect measure of relative concentration. That is, the signal measured at a given position on a microarray is typically assumed to be proportional to the concentration of a presumed single species in solution that can hybridize to that location. At high concentrations, the array will become saturated, and at low concentrations, equilibrium favors no binding. Hence, the signal is linear only over a limited range of concentrations in solution. Second, especially for complex mammalian genomes, it is often difficult to design arrays in which multiple related DNA or RNA sequences will not bind to the same probe on the array. A sequence on that array that was designed to detect gene A may also detect genes B, C and D if those genes have significant sequence homology to the gene A. This can particularly be problematic for gene families and for genes with multiple splice variants. It should be noted that it is possible to design arrays specifically to detect splice variants either by making array probes to each exon in the genome or to exon junctions. However, it is difficult to design arrays that will uniquely detect every exon or gene in genomes with multiple related genes. Finally, a DNA array can only detect sequences that the array was designed to detect. That is, if the solution being hybridized to the array contains RNA or DNA species for which there is no complementary sequence on the RNA, those species will not be detected. For gene expression analysis, this typically means that genes that have not yet been annotated in a genome will not be represented on the array. In addition, non-coding RNAs that are not yet recognized as expressed are typically not represented on an array. Moreover, for highly variable genomes such as those from bacteria, arrays are typically designed using information from the genome of a reference strain. Such arrays may be missing a large fraction of the genes present in a given isolate of the same species. For example, in the bacterial species Agrigactibacter actinomycetocomitans, the gene content differs by as much as 20% between any two isolates. Hence, an array designed using gene annotation from a reference isolate will not contain many of the genes found in other isolates. The future of microarrays. Given the limitations of arrays mentioned above, it would be far preferable to have an unbiased method to directly measure the entire DNA or RNA species present in a particular sample. The advent of next generation sequencing technologies combined with the rapid decrease in the cost of sequencing has now made sequencing cost competitive with microarrays for all assays with the possible exception of genotyping. When the cost is similar, sequencing has many advantages relative to microarrays. Sequencing is a direct measurement of which nucleic acids are present in a solution. One need only count the number of a given type of sequences present to determine its abundance. Counting sequences is linear with concentration, and the signal to noise one can obtain by sequencing is only limited by the number of reads used for each sample. Sequencing is a relatively unbiased approach to measuring which nucleic acids are present in the solution. While sample preparation or different enzymes may bias sequencing counts, unlike DNA arrays, Sequencing is not dependent on prior knowledge of which nucleic acids may be present. Sequencing is also able to independently detect closely related gene sequences, novel splice forms or RNA editing that may be missed due to cross hybridization on DNA microarrays. As a result of these advantages and the decreasing cost of sequencing, DNA arrays are being rapidly replaced by sequencing for nearly every assay that has been performed on microarrays. As the cost of sequencing is currently dropping by a factor or 2 every 5 months, it is likely that DNA arrays will be fully replaced by sequencing methods within the next 5 to 10 years.